Yeah, the microphone is in my lock. I just wanted to see how this sound. It's a little windy out here, but I just want to say, hey, you got it. If you've been on the brink and on the edge and just kind of wondering what you're trying to do, and you click on this video, I just want to let you know you got it. It's your time. And if you lock in and you focus, you will have abundance in anything that you do. And you have to get from a state of, not from a belief, but from a knowing. It's like this internal feeling within the gut, in the pit of your stomach, and just get to a point where you know. You know, sometimes I get into this space where I just want to express how I feel, and I have all these thoughts running, going around in my mind, and you may have those similar thoughts, but sometimes it's best to just get outside, get in nature, plant your feet in the ground, even when it's cold. I know it's kind of hard, you may not be able to do it as long, but put your feet in the ground, balance out your nervous system, and just get into a state of knowing that everything that you want and you desire will come to pass. The difference between, it's a little plane in the sky, so if you can't hear me, let's let that pass real quick. Can't even see it, it's so cloudy. You know, some people say they blocking the sun. Now there's no sun today, that's a fact. But when it's sunny outside, even in the winter, it gets warm. But back to it. We have to get from a state of belief and get into the state of a knowing, right? The difference is that some of our small goals and some of the things that we go after that small, we manifest those realities into existence as well. But when it's small, based off our perception, we know that it's going to happen. So we don't even think twice about it. But when we set goals that seems, if that's a word, I just think I just made that up, but you get what I'm saying. But that appear or seem to be impossible, we may believe it to a certain extent, but we don't know it. So when things start to happen and it push up against that belief, you stop. Here's what I'm saying. No matter what it is, let me face you a little bit. No matter what it is, right? You have to get into the state of knowing. So this world or this existence is based off our perception. You've heard the concept, perception is reality. What does that mean? Perception, the way that we see the world or how we see things. Reality, what is considered to be real. The way that we see things is real to us. So when we say perception is reality, that is the absolute truth. If you see yourself not being abundant or you see yourself in lack, that is true. If you see yourself in abundance, if you see yourself, things are always working out for you, that is also true. The thing is, how do we get into the state of knowing in anything that we desire? It's the same experience. Going into the meditative state, grounding yourself, emotion, manage your emotion. Emotion is energy in motion, managing that, understanding that we are creative beings. God is not some external being controlling this environment. Rather, God is within us. I like to use this example when understanding that. If you go take a cup to the ocean, right? And you fill the cup with ocean water. Is the water in the cup still the ocean, or it's just plain old water? Right? Yes, it's still the ocean. It's just separate from the ocean, but it's still the ocean water. What do I mean by that? If we separate ourselves, all of us individual beings, we are from the Creator. We are all collectively the Creator in an individual form. We have been taught through propaganda, through, hopefully this doesn't offend anyone, but at some point we have to talk about the truth. Religious dogma that we are, we are not the Creator, or we are, how can I explain it? The Creator example, if simple form, is outside of us, and our job is to get closer to, when really how we get closer to is going within. So when you go into that meditative state, you are imagining, you are creating your reality. We have been taught that we are not the creators. We are just experiencing someone else's creation. That is the problem. So if you decide today, whatever experience or reality you decide that you want, if you say today, I want to experience abundance in the form of monetary gain, that is a possibility once you get into the knowing. Then you start operating, you start creating, you hop on that frequency of monetary gain, and then what happens is certain signs and experiences start coming to your reality for you to decide and to choose. Right? But when you hop on the frequency of lack, what happens? Bills start to show up. You start to feel like, man, I don't have enough money. All of these executive orders dealing with the financial, paradigm, whatever, starts to, oh man, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Then you start feeling this feeling of lack, and then it continues to flow. And then your emotions starts to attend to that. This is distracting you from you going within. So even in the midst of all of this, what's happening outside the world, you can decide whether you want to live there or not. This is what they don't want you to know. It is as simple as that. It is not some magical, only a select few. No, there's a select few that understand this concept. I believe that, when we talk about the story of Jesus, or we talk about these stories of these figures are that play such a powerful role in our reality, I believe that they understood what they call, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, the secret. Or they understood how to go within and find the God within them. And then let's use this character of Jesus. The people around him saw him creating so much, and they just like, oh, you're God. And then, long story short, we're at this point in our time where, we've separated ourselves from it, and the only concept of God that we see is outside of us, and we're looking for it within a book. And you can find, self-development, you can find creation, you can find all kinds of things that can help you through this reality in any book. Look at cartoons and movies, for example. If you've seen the new Mufasa movie, to me, Mufasa and Scar represented the higher and lower self. Put that in the comments if you want me to break that down. Me and my wife, we thought about breaking that down in another video. But essentially, those two characters represent. And if you've seen the movie, you realize that there were opportunities for Taka or Scar to tap into his higher self, but he chose the lower self, and vice versa. Mufasa could have tapped into his lower self, but he chose the higher self. We have decisions that we can make in this reality that can take us in one path or the other. The first decision that you have to make is to get into it knowing that whatever reality you decide to live is abundant. But it doesn't matter what you decide to live. It will show that in your reality. But if you decide to live a life of abundance, it's not only monetary. Abundance could be an abundance of love, abundance of energy, abundance of vitality, abundance of positive thoughts that come into your mind that can create the reality. Anything in abundance, whatever you see. Think about a plant. I was watching a video just now. A guy was growing some vegetables. He popped one pepper, and he opened it up, and it just had, I want to say, about 30 to 40 seeds in there, and each of those seeds will grow a bush of the same peppers in abundance. That is abundance. We've been taught that there is not enough. But when you watch the reality that we currently watch on our news and our TV, it shows you lack. That is a purpose. They want you to think in lack. Okay? So you have to decide where you want to go, where you want to believe. If you want to live a life in abundance. Again, monetary is one aspect. There are so many levels to abundance. I've seen people who are lacking in financial gain but are abundance in love. Now, there's two sides of that. Well, you say, well, that person, I thought that person was in abundance. Yeah, he's in abundance, or she's in abundance of love, but he may have a mental block, a financial block that thinks a lack in monetary gain. We can tap into all of these experiences. You just have to decide. We live in a world now where the average Joe can literally change his or her life around in a year's time. And I put a time on a year, it could be 6 months. This video could be the one that blows my channel up to 40 or 50,000 new subscribers, because I've connected with a version of you that sees that within yourself. So get out of the state of lack, and you have to recognize when you're in a lack. Be honest with yourself. This is a story about you. I'm a character in your movie. You're a character in my movie. Decide the life that you want to live. Write it out like a story. Get into the imagination, and dream like a child and say, I want that experience. I want that experience. I want that experience. Go into a meditative state and become that experience. Like, share, follow.
It get hotter in the summer, yeah. Hotter in the summer. The winter don't stand no chances. Hotter in the summer.